gentlemen, we are back for hour number 3 of the N.O.W.
Hello?
We're here with the great
Hello?
Hardbody Harper.
Don't need headphones, man.
So, Harper, thanks so much again for joining us on the Now Show. Got some rapid-fire questions for you. First off, were you a Warrior or Hogan guy?
Hogan, bruh.
Hogan all the way?
No doubt.
Yeah?
I'm still a Hogan guy. People like, he's racist. I'm like, whatever, bruh. Like, you never said dumb shit before. You know? Hogan all the way,
Hogan
bruh.
all the way. So, all right, what about Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart?
Bret, I think if I had to pick one.
Yeah.
Like, during that whole feud with him during the Iron Man match, I was rooting for Bret.
Okay. What was your favorite wrestling angle of all time?
Oh, man. I don't know, man. The favorite?
Would it be like something, you know, in the 80s?
Oh, yeah, definitely something from my...
Or maybe like favorite rivalry. You don't have to say
I'll be honest, dude. Hogan in the 80s, that shit had me hook, line, and sinker when the earthquake broke his ribs.
Yeah.
When he sat on them,
Right.
and I was like, the fuck's he going to do now, man?
Like Hulkamania's.
Hogan's fucked. That shit had me hook, line, and sinker. And Zeus. I remember when Zeus came out and he hit Zeus with a chair, which is like the nuclear bomb of fucking wrestling, especially back then.
Yeah.
And Zeus just turned around and looked at him. I was like, what the fuck? What's he gonna do? This guy took a chair shot like it was nothing. That shit like had me thinking, like sitting up in like in the bed at like 2 a.m. thinking, fuck.
What about your favorite match of all time?
Favorite match? I tell you, as a kid, you know, Hogan and Andre just really pulled me in. Like that's the first thing that like really said like.
So the WrestleMania 3 Hogan.
Yeah,
Andre?
that was the thing that like, you know, I loved wrestling. Like if I was like at home flipping through the channels, I would watch it. Once WrestleMania 3 happened, that's when I was like, okay, this is my thing. Like like I'm gonna work my schedule around to be at the house when this shit comes on. But I think now, I was watching when Ronnie Garvin defeated Flair for the NWA title in '87, I think that was. That match is fucking badass.
Okay.
I think that would probably be my favorite match right now. That would be it.
Okay. And who's your favorite wrestler of all time? Is it Hogan or is you guys?
I mean, dude, the Hulkamania shit had me hook, line, and sinker, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the Hulk Hogan lunchbox. I had all that shit,
and you were
man.
taking your vitamins. You were
Yeah,
saying your
dude.
prayers.
Dude, I remember we used to get the TV Focus with the Times-Picayune, and a Sunday. The first thing I would do, I would flip to Saturdays to see if Saturday night main event was it going to be coming on. That's the first thing I did, just so I could see Hogan, you know, defeat the big boss man or whoever. So,
Yeah, I remember one of them in particular. It was Hulk versus Macho Man.
Yeah.
And in the middle of it, we lost feed for it somehow.
What?
And it was like one of these classic matches that, you know, like when I got the WWE Network, I went back and watched that match because
That's
I was
crazy.
like, I want to see what the hell happened in that fucking match. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I don't know if it was just that my neighborhood lost feed or...
Oh, like Channel 6 screwed up or something?
Yeah. But, like, I remember I could hear the voice, you know, hear the announcers.
Oh, yeah?
And, like, they were like, oh, my God, did you just see that? And I'm like, no, I didn't. I didn't just see that. What was it?
That's how it was. I remember I would watch the old pay-per-views through, like, through the
scrambled fucking.
Oh,
Yeah, remember that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you say? Give me your top 3 managers of all time.
Top 3. Myself, and myself.
course.
End the question.
All right, moving
That's the
on.
best answer ever.
I mean, it's got to be Heenan.
Heenan's number 1.
I guess Heenan and Cornette could go back and forth. as a 1 and 2, and then I guess 3. I used to hate Jimmy Hart when I was a kid, when he used to come out with the honky tonk man. and all.
With that bullhorn.
Yeah, I
And,
fucking hated him. And when they finally got their hands on him, I was like, yes, fuck him up. So I guess he would be 3.
Okay. All right.
I'd say if I had to pick my favorite 3,
Yeah,
probably Bobby the Brain, $1 Million Man would be in there.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was a manager. The $1 Million Corporation.
Yeah, and maybe Paul Bearer.
Oh yeah.
Just because, like back in the day, that Undertaker Paul Bearer and even Kane Paul Bearer.
He managed Mankind. People forget about that.
Yeah.
I think he managed Vader too, didn't he?
Yeah.
For a short time.
Yeah. And did you get to work with him?
Oh,
I know
yeah.
he used to be real active with WildKat.
Yeah.
In the early stages.
Yeah. That was fun. I think we did a show in Mississippi one time, and he beat me up. That was
That's so
fun.
awesome, man. That like blows
Yeah,
my mind. That's so good.
he pulled up. They got a hearse from like someone had like an old hearse, like something you see like Rob Zombie in, and they got him to come to the ring
In the hearse.
Yeah.
Well, if I remember correctly, he actually is in or was in the funeral business.
Right.
Yeah,
I think he
real
was a
mortician.
legit.
Yeah, I know he was a real mortician, so
Uh-huh.
he very well could have just been like, "Hey, we can't go pick up any stiffs tonight. I'm taking the car to the Coast Coliseum." You know?
Yeah. I think he was a big part of WildKat. I think he was one of the. At the time he died, I think he was one of the top guys for the N.W.A. for like the board of directors or whatever. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I know he was like super respected. I've seen interviews with him, like with Cornette, and I'm pretty sure I've seen one with like Bruce Pritchard, where like a lot of those guys, had a ton of respect for him.
Yeah, I remember watching him when he was Percy on a World Class when we used to get that.
Didn't we get that at like it would come on at like 4:00 or something?
It would come on at 10:30 on Sunday nights when the news went off on Channel 6.
Okay.
And I used to stay up and watch it.
I remember seeing something like I would get off of school and it would be on ESPN. It was like old.
That was the AWA.
That was okay. All right.
That was the AWA,
That
and
was
it
great.
with like Sergeant Slaughter and the Road Warriors and all of that.
I looked forward to that. Like right when I
Yeah,
got home, I was ready
yeah.
to put it on.
That was when AWA tried to, we can go on worldwide cable too. To try to compete against them, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the Saturday evenings. It was like 5:00 on TBS. Like my family would always go like to 4:00 mass. That way on Saturdays, just that we were done with our mass duties for the weekend early, and then I'd come home and we'd order pizza or mom would cook dinner or whatever, and I'd watch that, watching Nature Boy and Ric Flair and Sting and all those old cats wrestling on there. That was my jam growing up.
My mom used to go to 11:00 mass with my grandma, and I would go with them. Well, that's when the NWA would come on, was 11:00. So I would go one Sunday and not go the next Sunday. Well, it ended one Sunday. It ended when it was I forget exactly who it was. Maybe it was the Legion of Doom and the Steiners or something, and they were in the ring. You're like, well, you know what? We don't gotta wait to Starrcade. We can do it right now. And they ding, 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 and they started wrestling. And it was like 5 minutes left, and it's like, oh, we gotta go and see you next week. And I remember thinking, fuck, I got church next Sunday. I gotta find out what the fuck happens, right?
Yeah.
So then next Sunday came around, I was like, you gotta tell Jesus You know,
Forgive me, but
yeah, forgive
wrestling's
me, bro.
coming
but
on.
Wrestling's coming on, and I never went back to church, bro. I never went back.
Blame it on the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, blame it on the N.W.A. Damn it. Yeah, that's when I stopped going to church.
So you're saying that Andre Hogan like brought you in? Was
Yeah.
there somebody in your family, or you have brothers or sisters that like said, "Hey, check this out," or did you
Nah,
find
man.
it on your own?
I just like it was just you couldn't ignore it. It was just so huge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kids in school, and you'd be hanging out with your buddies and it was just so big. And I just started watching it, and I was hooked. That whole, I mean, their product was aimed towards kids, and it fucking had me.
Yeah.
Because I had like the little toys and everything,
Yeah.
man.
Like the rubber one.
Yeah. I still got a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I always had the thumb wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had some of those.
Yeah.
You would put your thumb up their ass.
Yes.
And you'd be like,
I had Hillbilly Jim, Piper, Hogan. I forget who else. but yeah.
It was
Sheik.
The
Yeah,
Sheik.
Sheik,
They had
there you
Big
go.
John Studd. They had Nikolai Volkov.
Yeah, that's right.
And I had some of the AWA ones that were made by Ramco. I had some of those.
Really?
Yeah. I had Flair and Rick Martel. Those are fun to play with, man. I used to sit there all day. Elbow drop. Boom. 1, 2. No. Body slam. Boom.
Yeah, we'd have hours of fucking
Yeah.
wrestling matches going on with those.
I remember having some. I don't know who made them, but it was the Fabulous Freebirds.
That was the Ramco
That was
ones.
Ramco? Okay.
Ram,
all right.
yeah, because the Ramco ones were made kind of. They were like He-Man figures almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They were just.
Yeah, they were like the guys, and they basically all had the same body. They would just change their head or
Right.
color them different.
Yeah.
That was the Ramco ones.
Okay. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
So, to move into the meat of the matter for this hour, WWE.
Yeah.
Let's give a state of the union on WWE. Brock is no longer champion.
Yeah. I think
Yay!
I was a Brock
Oh.
fan for a while, but you kind of brought me to like I know you've been kind of hating on Brock for a couple years now, but I think you were trying to steer me in that direction, and I'm with you now. Like I'm glad he's gone.
Well, let's get your take on this. Coming from a professional wrestling standpoint.
Yeah, right.
Well, Brock, for the longest time, he was like basically for a year, he was the champ.
And he was never there.
He was never there.
Yeah, I don't like that, man.
Yeah, you know, I mean, while I understand that, you know, does the belt need to be contended necessarily every show? No.
But I think he should be
I
there.
think that presence of the belt is important because it's like if I don't see the belt, well,
right.
why do I give a shit about the belt?
You see, at the end of the day, your champion represents your company.
Yeah,
That's like here, Jay Spade represents WildKat.
right.
He's our champion, and if he's not around, does the belt mean anything?
Right. So I had a big issue with Brock being the champion just because he wasn't there. You know, had he been there more often, you know, even like I said, even in a non-fighting role, even if he just walks out onto the ramp,
Right,
while,
shoots the promo.
you know, two guys
Yeah.
are fucking fighting, and he's just like, yeah, one day you'll be good enough to get this, you know. You know, I would have liked to see more of the belt.
Yeah.
So I was happy to see him get the belt taken away.
Is he still around or what?
Well, I think that with him losing the belt, that was his
way of hitting the
official,
road?
hey, I'm heading out to go back to UFC.
That sucks.
But I'd assume he's probably going to come back and finish off his athletic career with WWE.
I like him. I just wish he would have stayed around more because he was legit.
Yeah,
You know?
it adds legitimacy, you know, that
Right.
like you have to beat this guy who
He's not a
was
sport entertainer. He's a real
Yeah.
fighter.
he's a real fighter,
Uh-huh.
and he's beat up some of the best UFC fighters in the world.
Yeah.
On the same note, am I necessarily super happy with who they put the belt on? With Roman Reigns? No. I don't think that Roman Reigns is really ready for that top tier. Like you said, your champion's representing your company. And, the fact that, while I understand not everybody's going to fucking like the champion, I'm sure that you have your own views on Jay Spade, but
he's
on the
black,
same
right?
note, but on the same note, you have a given
up.
respect for him because he is your champion.
Yes.
He's
He's our Drew Brees.
Yeah,
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah. So I'm not really happy with Roman Reigns being the champion right now. I'm assuming that that's just a transitional championship.
Well, who's he feuding with now?
Braun Strowman.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
about to.
yeah, that's right.
Because Braun just cashed in his Money in the Bank to where at Hell in a Cell in like 3 weeks or whatever, they'll face each other. Which I hope Braun is successful. I think that he's over with the crowd. He's worked his comeuppance to deserve to be the champion. There's just something with Roman that's not clicking. And I think it speaks volumes that every time that he gets the belt, they've got to put someone behind him to be like, yeah, this is why you should really like him.
I don't understand. Why don't they just make him heel?
They need to make him just all right heel. But every single time they want to be like, there was one time The Rock had to come out and be like, he earned this.
Yeah, it's just...
this time they had to bring the Shield back together to be like, he earned this. And it's like, if every single time that he does something right, you need to have someone who comes and points out, he earned this. Maybe he didn't earn this so much, It
would be nice if he would turn heel and be like, oh, y'all booed me and all that,
Yeah.
Up yours.
Uh-huh.
I'm the champion. I got this on my own, and all your fans that boo me, y'all can kiss my ass type of thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. AJ Styles, he is the SmackDown champion.
Yeah. He's good, man.
Yeah, he's I think that he's doing some of his best work right now. The feud with Samoa Joe. Joe came out on SmackDown this week and said he was going to go accost his family, AJ's family in their house.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about AJ's wife.
Yeah, it's I think that they're telling a good story with that match right now.
I like Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
he looks different from the rest of them.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of beef to him.
Yeah, he's got beef to him.
But he's got some muscle underneath it. You know?
He's not covered with a bunch of tattoos. He got a beard down to his knees. He looks different from the rest of them.
Yeah, he's he definitely sticks out.
Yeah.
I find that WWE is getting a little bit too tattoo heavy.
Well, I think it's just the way things are now.
Well,
everyone
I've got a tattoo. But doesn't mean that. Yeah.
Is it a fucking pickle?
It's a pickle scoop. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Jesus.
But on the same note, just because I have one doesn't mean that everybody in the ring has to have shoulder to shoulder.
But if you think about it, even during the Attitude Era, no one really had tattoos. Like The Rock had the bull.
Well, Shawn Michaels had the little heart with the
heartbreak. But now, like you said, everyone has them. Randy Orton, he's got a bunch of skulls. And
I remember
you can't name everybody's tattoos.
When I was a kid, Harley Race he's got one here, and he's got one here, And back then, you would have been like a circus freak if you walked around like that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, and you would be like, man, I bet the guy's been to Angola. And nowadays, everyone's like a walking coloring book.
Yeah,
with the tattoos.
Don't get me wrong. I think that tattoos are beautiful, all that, but I think that with WWE, it feels like it's over the top.
Yeah, I don't get the whole tattoo thing, man. I just don't like. They're like, oh well, the Saints are my favorite sports team, so you got a tattoo. Put a bumper sticker on your car. Why you need a Saints tattoo to say that you're a Saints fan? Wear the T-shirt. They're like, oh well, they're my passion. Whatever, bruh. I like J-Lo and po' boys. I'm not getting J-Lo eating a hot sausage po' boy on my fucking forearm.
If you did, that would probably be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. Let's see. Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
The current women's champion.
I think she's legit in the ring. WrestleMania. That
Dude,
was a great
that was
match.
awesome, huh?
That
was
was
an
awesome.
old school wrestling match.
Yeah, and the guys were attacking the girls attacking the
Yeah.
guys. That was refreshing to see. I feel like they put the belt on her way too quick.
That's my only issue with it. Is that, yes, she seems like a legit force to be holding the belt, all that, but
Have her chase it more, right?
tell me a little bit of story more than just like, hey, we got this girl who was in MMA. She's the belt champion now.
Yeah, she's over.
Give it to her.
Put the belt on her now.
Yeah, let her work it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see her, duke it out for a year per se, and end WrestleMania next year with her getting the belt for the first time or something.
And maybe get screwed out of the title a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
Kind of make it.
Have someone
She
come
gets
in
fucked
and do
over,
a cheap
fucked over,
move.
And finally has that moment,
Let's see, Charlotte Flair, SmackDown Women's Champion.
She's a whole lot better when she's a heel.
Yeah. No, dude, she's a great heel.
Yeah, and I mean, she's awesome. She's the best wrestler I feel like they have. But as a baby face, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% on that.
What's Becky Lynch doing?
Well, she just got turned heel.
I saw that.
To where at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that she's going to be, they're kind of telling that story between Charlotte and her to lead it up to where they're going to have a rematch one-on-one.
She makes my heart skip a beat. Even though she sounds like she should be the freaking Highlander or something. But, I'll take it to the swamp room.
Is she your favorite WWE female, probably?
Carmella.
Carmella?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's okay.
But you're more Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know who I love is The Rock's what's her name? The Rock's cousin.
Oh wait, Nia Jax. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, bro, she got some.
I heard. That
I like him thick, bro.
Yeah, I heard she's dating Luke Gallows.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, man. So you're gonna have to rumble with Luke Gallows.
No.
Hopefully you'll catch him in his Festus moment.
When the bell rings.
Let's see. Intercontinental, Seth Rollins. So that means 2 belts are in the Shield right now. That kind of raises my ears a little bit to where it's like, are they potentially going to build up that Shield to be like a modern day
Horseman
or N.W.O. or something like that, to where one of those big stables where they had all the fucking belts.
Yeah.
Like I remember when DX would come out and like
I
all of them
that.
were carrying a belt.
Yeah.
Is that possible? I'm not sure. It would be interesting to see it happen, but I don't know how they'd pull it off.
The New Day still the tag team champions, huh?
Yeah, they're the SmackDown tag teams.
I
they just got them though, because the Bludgeon Brothers. That's Luke Harper and Eric Rowan.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? They got a guy named after Luke and me.
Yeah. They they had to drop them because they got injured. But the Raw champions is the B team.
Yeah.
That's Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
I like them being the champions. I kind of see them only being transitional though.
Right.
Yeah.
You know that they saw them needing a little pick me up per se to be like, hey, you know, these guys are an important part of the storyline. But I don't see them holding the titles too much longer. Shinsuke Nakamura, the U.S. champion.
Oh, yeah?
Something about him has gotten a little stale.
Really?
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, I like the entrance still, but, you know, and I like his ring maneuver, but just something about that character is stale on me.
You know who else makes my heart skip a beat is Asuka.
Oh,
Something about her. I don't know what it is, but I'll take her to Saki Cafe.
yeah, she's
Hey, you go to Swamp Room, you go to Saki.
I know, right?
nothing but the finest for these
dude.
babies. You know?
I got a 3-day weekend for Labor Day.
Man needs to eat lunch and
Dude,
dinner.
that's right.
Maybe some dessert. If you know what I mean.
Yahtzee.
I'll take her to Marble Slab. Let's see. So some of the hot topic things that are going on right now. Kurt Angle is on a leave of absence, leaving Baron Corbin in charge.
I think Baron Corbin has been one of the worst characters in WWE for
Really?
the last couple of years. I just don't. I
This
don't get him.
this storyline, it sold me this week.
So wait, you actually like the Constable
The
Corbin?
yes, I never thought that I would have and Baron Corbin said
Okay. So
in the same
So
sentence.
tell me why you like it.
He's playing just like that dickhead manager right now, to where at one point on Raw he was fighting Finn Balor,
Yeah.
and something happened to where Finn pinned him, and Corbin goes out to the announce table, grabs a mic, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I didn't say this is a submission match only," or he threw some new stipulation in that required the match to restart, just so that he could get a cheap win.
Oh, okay.
And
so
like,
I get you. Yeah.
So him just playing like that dickhead general manager character.
I don't like how he wrestles in like a vest now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And just
That's his gear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like a
vest,
Street Fighter character.
Yeah.
But he's in like
Basically.
dress clothes. He's got like Dockers on and a vest. I don't know.
He's like Corporate Kane, kind
yeah,
of.
exactly.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Mayor Kane?
That's
there?
awesome, huh?
Yeah.
Is that Knoxville when they say Knox?
No, it's Knox County. I think that's basically like the Laplace of Knoxville.
Oh,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure.
Ugh.
You know, so like it's some small podunk town.
Well, that's cool, man.
But yeah, like I thought that was cool that he had a little salute to his the Kane character.
Yeah.
Like on his car, he was driving like a little what do you call it? A smart car to go do all of his campaign appearances. And in his little logo, he had a little flame.
Oh, yeah?
And it was, like Glenn Flame Jacobs.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. I think that he'll be a good man, good
I think
mayor.
that's awesome. I want to run for mayor of Metairie.
You got
to
to
vote for me?
Yeah, you got my
Yeah.
vote. You got my vote. I'll vote twice for you. Let's see. KO quit WWE.
go.
Or KO quit WWE.
I like
Yeah.
that. I mean, give us a little break, and then I mean, he's such a great character. I think hopefully comes back bigger, badder, stronger.
Yeah.
You know?
This Bailey Sasha love-hate relationship.
I hate them. I'm done with them.
You
What do
know-
you think about Sasha?
Dude, I saw like the book in the territory thing. Mike is in love with her, and people been posting pictures with her. Like she's got a big forehead, man.
Who's that? Are you talking
Sasha.
Sasha? Oh, okay.
Dude.
Well, I think that's just because she dyes her hair
I
so
don't know,
much.
bro.
that-
Like they show her with her hair back, and I was like, "Oh fuck."
yeah,
Man.
I think that's because like when you dye your hair so many goddamn times.
And she's
But
dyed
it
it
eventually, like-
purple.
But that's extensions, though.
No, I think that's her natural hair.
Yeah,
well,
right,
some of
bro.
it's extensions, but like I think her natural hair is painted
So
or is dyed.
she's feuding with
Well, there was a few weeks where they were leading it up, like Bailey and her. Well, at what Elimination Chamber, she turned on Bailey after
Oh.
like being like,
she
"We're
turned
best
heel.
friends."
Yeah.
Well, then like they were like leading up this anger to where it looked like there was going to be a WrestleMania match between those two, and then it never happened. And then after WrestleMania, it's like there's shit in the room and no one's fucking bringing it up
That's
for like
yeah.
months. And then all of a sudden they're like, I love you. Don't you see? That's why I was so upset with you. And now they're best fucking friends again.
And they did like the therapy session. Remember when Kane and Daniel Bryan did that, and it was actually entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did that, and it was just like, oh my god, we don't care.
Yeah.
Mike Dell was a therapist on there one time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Remember that with
Was it with
Dean Ambrose?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish that that whole situation, they'd just let them have a good match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they're supposed to be two of the four horsewomen. You know, that I want to see an entertaining match between them.
Right.
The horsewomen.
Well, now
It
they're
just doesn't sound right.
I mean,
Every
people
time-
can't think up their own shit, bro.
well.
I mean, come
They've
on.
got the horsewomen, and then now they've got the MMA horsewomen, to where there's like four women who are now in WWE that are
former MMA
former
fighters.
MMA chicks that were
Now
all
they're the
supposed to
four
be
horsemen.
like really elite. You know,
Well,
like
you know-
Ronda.
They got the four bartenders from Daiquiri and Creams. They're the four horsewomen too.
Of daiquiris, yes.
They're gonna come out with the fabulous free girls. Like,
Yeah,
in the
there you
next
go.
pay-per-view.
The N.W. hoes.
Well, speaking of the women, I guess we'll talk about it now. They're going to be doing an all women's pay-per-view at the end of October. I think that it's partially to make up for that greatest Royal Rumble that they did in Saudi Arabia,
Oh yeah.
where apparently, I
There
guess
was no
because of
women.
Sharia law, they couldn't have any
Put
women.
your clothes on, bitch. Muhammad's watching.
So to make up for it, they're going to do a all women's pay-per-view. And it sounds like they're trying to bring back a bunch of
The old school.
yeah. Like Trish Stratus announced this week that she'll be having a match with Alexa Bliss.
I love the chick that she was with Eminem. What's her name?
What, Melina?
Yo,
Melina, there's talk that she may have a match
ring a ding ding
with Naomi
Whoa.
at that event. I've heard talk of Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that match.
I don't know, bro. It's just
Like,
when I see Ronda Rousey, you're a real fighter,
yeah,
and it's like, how is she?
it's
How
hard
can
for
Nikki
me
Bella
to,
beat her?
yeah, it's hard for me to believe that
Yeah.
Nikki Bella
It'll be
could
like
put
Mike
up a fight.
Tyson versus I
Donald
don't-
Trump.
I mean George Animal
Yeah.
Steel or something.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, while I think that during some of Nikki's wrestling matches, she's had some decent matches, I don't see her versus Ronda being a big sale for me, you know? I'm assuming that they're going to line up all of the different belts, the women's belts, to have them up for grabs.
So are they going to do? Is there going to be like a steel cage match and this match and this match, or it's just going to be a bunch of?
I think it's just going to be a bunch of women's
That's
matches.
suck, dude.
And I'm assuming that they're going to have some sort of women's battle royale thing to where that'll be their real big chance to bring back, Lita and Molly Holly. And, a lot of the wrestling alumni. They've only announced a few of the matches so far, but yeah, they're going to fill it up to where it's going to be like a 3-hour event just of women's matches.
I'm not really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't want to sound like a dick, but it's like a bunch of gimmick matches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that they're not just trying to make it to where, every 4 seconds all they can say is,
"We're making history.
We're making history. Yeah. We're making history." So long as kind of like that all-in match to where it was just 4 women putting on an entertaining match.
Right.
There wasn't talk of, oh my God, a major independent pay-per-view with a women's match in it. And it's like, that shit happens every week,
Yeah.
I'm skeptical to see what happens with that. Miz and Maurice.
What do you think about the Miz? First off,
I like him as a heel.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love the Miz.
We're big Miz fans.
Oh.
Like he was one of those guys when he first came in from the real world. And
Yeah.
It was just dope.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's definitely gained respect. He's one of the best heels in the business.
I think he's a very great heel. I never watched that show. Him and his wife.
Oh,
I've watched it a couple times. It's pretty fucking funny.
Really?
Yeah. Like Miz plays the douchebag on there. You know what I mean? Like, there was one of the storylines that they did was with Maurice being pregnant at the time of the recording. She was having cravings. One of the cravings that she had was for truffles. So Miz brings her out to some nice dinner, and the total bill was like $800.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you know what my dinner cost? $50. It was a nice steak. Do you know what yours cost? $650 because it was truffles.
Truffles.
So he goes and they show later on. He's like, since she likes truffles so much, he's like, I can't afford to keep on paying $800 every time she has a hankering for some truffles.
Yeah.
So he goes to the store and gets Velveeta shells and cheese and the little jar of fucking truffles that he bought for $40 or whatever, and tries to make that for her. And she's takes a bite out of it and she's like, this tastes like dog food. And she starts feeding it to the dog. Just the constant dickheadedness that he does on there.
Yeah.
I love the Miz. I love the Miz.
Yeah.
Miz and Maurice are going to have a match versus Daniel Bryan and Brie at Hell in a Cell.
How's he doing, Daniel Bryan?
He's doing all right.
Yeah.
I mean, every single time that he wrestles, his chest looks like fucking, like a mutilated ham afterwards.
Oh, yeah?
Just like there was one, what was it? It was, the Greatest Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
He was in there for a decade, it felt like. And at the end of the match, his chest is just purple and he's got blood spots coming out, to where he's not cut, but
right
from taking so many slaps, his skin has to get rid of some of that blood, he's but I mean, he's doing some decent matches. I assume that in the near future we're going to see them put a belt on him just to keep him happy, per se, But I guess the future will tell. This Dolphin Drew McIntyre team.
I like it.
Yeah, I really like that.
Because I feel like Dolph was so stale for so long, you know? And this kind of gave him, like, new life a little bit.
Yeah. Elias. What are your thoughts on Elias? Have you heard
Elias?
about Elias? Elias, he comes out and he sings.
Oh, the guy that plays the guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He even put out an album
Really?
of like 4 songs, and like I think 3 of them are songs all about all the different towns that WWE has
And
wrestled in, and how all these towns are garbage. It's like Albany smells like shit, you know, like
he's definitely like the best thing going, I feel.
yeah. I'd love to see him. I know a few months ago he called out The Rock. He was trying to get The Rock at SummerSlam, and you know, I don't know if it was just him hoping for, you know, that story to pick up legs or what. But
Yeah.
I'd love to see something with him versus Rock. To, you know, just to bring him up that extra step.
Right.
Let's see. Rusev.
I feel like they kind of, I don't know, dropped the ball with Rusev.
No, you think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
Oh my
The
God.
Rusev Day, they could have cashed in big time. And
Yeah, during WrestleMania weekend. You know, like I remember 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever, when WrestleMania was here for 30. They had the We the People guys that were like the top fucking
so you're talking
over
Jack
crowd.
yeah, Swagger.
It was Swagger and Cesaro,
Uh-huh.
and they broke them up that weekend. This week, you know, this year, everybody in the crowd at WrestleMania was wearing Rusev Day shirts, and they still haven't done anything with Rusev Day.
That sucks.
To where it's like, you've got this guy who's so over, you know, put something on him. You know, I mean, bring the hardcore belt back and fucking put it on him. I don't give a shit. Put something on him. Give him the $1 million belt. Let's see. The Shield being back together.
It just feels like they're doing it, like he had said, because of Roman.
Yeah, it feels very forced. Yeah, I'm not real happy with them finally bringing that storyline back just because Roman wasn't over. Let's see. NXT. Have you been watching any of the NXT stuff?
Not really.
Wow.
What?
I don't know. I feel like we were saying, it's just so hard to watch Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. So, yeah.
Plus my WildKat every week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
More importantly,
Show you
WildKat
what I'm
Sports.
made of.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll watch the takeovers, but that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm relegated to watching with NXT as of late. Have you watched any of the tournament stuff that they have
Like
going
the
on?
Mae
Like,
Young,
yeah, they have the
no.
Mae Young stuff, and they, I know they were doing a UK one during WrestleMania, and
Yeah, I never watch it. So.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. Out of the Mae Young thing, no. That doesn't sound good to me.
well, I mean, yeah, I haven't gotten to watch any of it, but you know, seeing some of the names that were on the list.
Who is
And,
okay?
like-
There's one girl in there. She's like a little Japanese girl that does the elbow drop. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Chun-Li.
It may be
Chun-Li.
but she's like an up and comer. She was in the Rumble. I don't know. But I feel like she's gonna be maybe a good.
Is that Io Shirai?
I don't know.
I think that's who you are thinking
Okay.
of. That she, yeah, she's got a lot of steam behind her. She was supposed to be like the big Chinese wrestling
Like champ.
champ.
She's from China?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. It's like Street Fighter now, huh?
yeah, it literally is becoming like Street Fighter over there. So, Well, I think that's everything that I have here on my notes. Did you have any other comments?
No, man, I'm just so happy that Hardbody joined us today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much, man.
You're more than welcome.
Again, I want to remind everybody, be sure to go check out the Revolution Rumble, October 6th.
That's right. Meisler
JD
Middle
Meisler.
School.
You can get tickets on WildKatSports.com.
That's right.
Harper will be in
yeah.
full effect there. I can guarantee that. Let's see. You can go to WildKat Sports and get y'all's merch.
Buy the T-shirts, man. Buy the hoodies.
Subscribe to y'all's Vimeo.
Yes. Don't be cheap.
You can watch WildKat every Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
On WUPL.
My 54.
My 54.
And Sundays at midnight.
Yeah, Sundays at midnight, Saturdays at 10.
Mm-hmm.
And be sure to follow WildKat on
all your social media.
Yeah, all your social medias.
Even MySpace.
Let's see, Booking the Territories again.
That's right.
You can go check out MikeMills.podbean.com.
Yeah, it's on podbean.com, Booking the Territory. It's me and Mike Mills and Doc Turner breaking down old school wrestling.
Be sure to follow Harper.
Follow me, but just don't message me like at 3 a.m. What are you doing? Question mark, question mark.
Unless you're Becky Lynch, right?
Yeah,
Unless you're Becky Lynch or Asuka.
So there are exceptions.
Yeah, that's cool.
Unless you're a very beautiful female.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And in that case, remember, the line is to the right, ladies. Again, be sure to buy your Hardbody Harper shirts.
Yeah, go buy the shirt on freaking ProWrestlingTees.com.
So, again, thank you so much for coming on.
It's cool, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're always welcome here.
Oh, yeah?
He found your beer. He did find your beer.
He found the beer. He found the beer. So be sure to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/N.O.W show.
Yes.
Let's see, Twitter at N.O.W podcast. And
I think that's it, man.
yeah. So till the next show, thank you.